She's a big part of our family. You know, there's a big hole in our family with her missing, you know.
How does someone vanish? Just vanish. It's frightening.
Shannon White was last seen on the morning of November 1st, 2021 as she left for work. She would never arrive.
Shannon was born on February 21st, 1989 to Gerald and Lori White. She grew up in Stony Creek in Hamilton, Ontario with her older brother Adam and her younger brother Griffin. While growing up, Shannon was shy yet curious. She was a straight-A student and always worked hard at anything she did in life. She even taught herself to play drums at a very young age. She is a serious animal lover and loves all animals as they do her, especially her dog Buddy. She spent a lot of her youth volunteering in her community. She would volunteer at a local retirement home and a local animal shelter when she was 12 years old. Caring for these animals became her passion, and their family home began to fill with rescue animals. Her mother Lori shared this passion with Shannon. Tragically, their family lost her mother Lori to cancer when Shannon was just 13 years old. Even though grief-stricken, Shannon would continue on with her life and complete high school and then college. Later in life, Shannon would tour the eastern United States with her husband, selling their house, buying an RV, and ending up in Arizona. While in Arizona, Shannon answered an ad for a job as a property manager at an RV resort in Kamloops, BC. They would make their way to Kamloops and begin their new life in British Columbia. Shannon loved BC, and Kamloops is where she wanted to be. It was love at first sight. It's Monday, and Shannon's weekend of adventures are over. She gets ready for work and makes plans via text with a friend to meet later that day. Shannon says goodbye to Buddy and walks to her Jeep, passing her landlord's wife Quinn, whom was sitting in her car. This was normal and a part of Shannon's everyday, predictable routine. Shannon's landlord, Matt Hatch, would see Shannon drive away from their home on Bestwick Court in Lower Sahalee, and everything seemed as ordinary as it did every other day.
And everything just is so normal in the days leading up to it. The night before, I talked to her. I went down, I gave her a bag of candy because it's Halloween and I had way too much left over. I just called her like, hey, you want some candy? Yeah, of course. I'll never turn down free candy. That was the words that came out of her mouth, right? And I took her a bag of candy, said hi, and then the next morning I see her drive away and then I don't see her again.
It's now 8:30 a.m., and Shannon would normally be arriving at work at Kamloops Hyundai. However, she failed to show up, and her vehicle would be seen driving west on Highway 1 at approximately 8:30 a.m. This was very out of the ordinary for Shannon not to go to work without letting someone know she wouldn't be there. Her co-workers grew concerned very soon after she did not arrive at work, as this was very out of character for her. After more time passed and the concern grew, one of her friends, Michaela, would drive around and look for Shannon, as well as trying to text and call her. However, Michaela was unable to locate her, and Shannon's phone seemed to be turned off. Shannon's friends Angela and Michaela would now call the RCMP, however they were told that it was too early to file a missing persons report. The friends would drive around for the entire day looking for Shannon, and as day turned to night, it was obvious something was very, very wrong. 5:30 p.m. Shannon's Jeep was seen again, this time traveling north on Highway 5, passing Rayleigh. Only 45 minutes later, her Jeep would be seen again, passing Rayleigh, heading south, back towards Kamloops. It's been over 24 hours since Shannon vanished, and now the case begins to get even more complicated. Shannon's Jeep would be located in the 200 block of Nicola Street, not far from her home. A pink flower Shannon usually has above her spare tire is missing. If the flower is found, it could be a major piece of evidence. On November 12, 2021, the RCMP and Search and Rescue would simultaneously begin searching two separate locations. The RCMP would begin a search at Shannon's ex-boyfriend's residence at the Silver Sage RV Park in Kamloops, British Columbia, while the Search and Rescue team would move west of the city and begin their search.
It's pretty amazing. It makes you feel good because you know these dogs can cover way more than a person can cover it in any given day, you know what I mean? So just to see what they can do and the skill of the dogs for what they're trained to do, to me it's pretty amazing.
We just continue to try and rule out areas. Some of the areas have been searched and gone over a number of times, and for various reasons we want to go over them again and just make sure.
With thousands of hours of searching by this amazing volunteer team and an extensive RCMP investigation, no leads have ever turned up in Shannon's disappearance.
Every day it's a heartache and heartbreak, and just the unknown of not knowing where she is like, just kind of tears me up, as well as my family and her good friends.
No matter how long it goes, without closure, without those answers, that pain will always be there, not knowing. Closure doesn't come until you get those answers. So, I mean, there's good days, there's bad days. When bad days are there, they're hard. Then other days, you know, you find that you're doing well and you carry on with life, and then something reminds you of her, and then it brings back those emotions.
If people come down and see this, maybe that'll trigger something for them to help remember her and always hope that we can find her. She's a big part of our family. You know, there's a big hole in our family with her missing, you know. Like there's a hole in my heart. And when I think of her, it's like poking at that hole in your heart, you know. You get good memories, but you're still poking and hurting yourself, you know. Just so if anybody knows anything, please help us, because this is really killing us, really.